Mix is presented to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Today, I'm Tyler Matsunani, and welcome to Uno Mix, the show where we explore everything there is to know on Guam. From grub to art to fashion and those hustling in the community. Today, we're diving into it all. We're here at Tumon Sands Plaza, home to Analista & Co. We're checking in with local fashion designing duo and husband and wife, Norman and Hernalyn Analista, to see what they've got going on. Get your suits and veils ready. It's wedding season. Hernalyn, you guys have had, obviously, as all of us, a lot of time on our hands with the pandemic happening, but that did not stop operations here. You guys started rolling out with a bridal collection, I see. We are in wedding season, so why don't you tell us a bit about that?
So typically what we do is we provide bespoke clothing where we can be able to produce custom-made pieces to meet the unique style as well as need of our customers. However, we also realize that there is a need for ready-to-wear clothing because individuals want to be able to feel, touch, and wear the clothes before they purchase them. And so we invested in ready-to-wear pieces also so that we can fill that need. So then we expand our services even further. And so now with the ready-to-wear pieces, we have the opportunity to, again, tailor things to the unique needs of the customer because now we have the option of offering them rental for the pieces as well as they can purchase it. And what makes this more of a sustainable approach is with all the different gowns that we have invested in, there's also the opportunity for our customers to take part in the design process. And with that, we can deconstruct as well as reconstruct the garments that you see.
What gave you this idea?
Well, basically, you know, I've always been into doing my own DIY projects, and particularly because I don't fit a certain, you know, the generalized style and size, or just generalized size.
We're not exactly 5'7" models.
Yeah, exactly, 5'7", you know.
We're barely just 5'1", and I take pride in that one.
And I'm below even that height. So that being said, I've always had to do my own alterations. I've always had to consider tailoring and customizing my clothes. So that's a concept that was not new to me. However, I noticed that accessibility to those kinds of services are not always readily available. And so, you know, that's where the idea of being able to provide this service came about. And so with that, of course, you know, there's also the concern about the environment and being able to ensure that, you know, we do our part in, you know, just not being able to produce even further waste. And, you know, with the fashion industry, a lot of times when clothing is no longer seen as usable, even if they're in perfectly good condition, they end up in the landfills. And so with that, we wanted to do something that would allow us to be able to, you know, create special pieces for individuals, but at the same time do it in a very environmentally friendly manner. This is our take on menswear for women, right? And so we took all the things that would typically be what a man would wear and feminized it. And so you have the blazer here, as well as the vest. And so we did a little low-cut vest here. And then, of course, pants that come along with it, and even a cummerbund. Wow. And so all this, of course, can also be tailored to work for a woman, and this is exactly what we did.
So beautiful. I love the feminine touches on it. I mean, it's not too, it's a tuxedo, but it has those little things to it. You have the traditional wedding dresses that you think of, but you know, we're in 2021. There's nothing traditional going on anymore with these masks, you know? Who knows? You guys might just start doing some masks to go along with it.
Yeah, that might be another idea, yeah, you know, to accessorize things even further. This is the classic Filipiniana, and so usually, you know, we would wear this type of apparel to Filipino events. It's more the traditional wear. And really what this is, of course, it has the big butterfly sleeves, as you'll see here. The fabric itself is piña, which is a fabric that is only, I believe, available in the Philippines. I like creating timeless pieces. And so this still has a very traditional look, but I didn't want it to look too traditional where it aged me. And so I wanted to also, and to be able to create the look where it was still kind of modern was in how, the form of the dress.
Right.
And so you'll notice that it's a bit fitting, and then it has the classic mermaid look on the bottom.
If I'm a bride-to-be and I am trying to walk around and find my dress, what are the steps taken to help me say yes to the dress space?
Well, the first step, of course, would be to just get an idea of what style works for you. It starts with understanding your own preferences and your own style, and then also what could fit and flatter you, And so given those considerations, then we walk you through some of the pieces. I mean, we have about maybe 80 dresses right now in inventory that we can be able to show brides to be. So then we can be able to pull from our inventory, our stock, and then show you pieces that most likely you'll relate to and consider as options, viable options for yourself. Here at Analista & Co., I think one of the things that we're most proud of is in the fact that we will individualize and cater to your needs. We hope that by being able to go through this process where someone will be able to help you to understand what it is you want and what it is you need, we hope that's something that you'll find valuable in this whole process and experience. You can be able to set up appointments with myself, Hernalyn Analista. You can contact me at 687-8338 or with Norman at 797-3333. Or you can visit our Instagram and Facebook pages, and you can message us on those platforms as well.
Cheers to Analista & Co. for not only helping beautiful brides find the perfect fit, but also helping to reduce the waste in the fashion industry. When we return, we're flipping the coin and talking with the man behind the name. Norman Analista is up next to tell us what his project is for Philippine Independence Month. We'll be back after this.
Uno Mixed is presented to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together. Uno Mixed is presented to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Welcome back to Uno Mix. Guam is a fusion of different cultures and ethnicities. That means many cultural celebrations. June is Philippine Independence Month, and what's typically a time for celebration with elaborate galas and other big social gatherings has been dialed back a bit this year. But local fashion designer Norman Analista isn't dialing things back. The pandemic may have canceled some things, but Norman's work and creativity wasn't one of them.
Buenas and Hafaday, I'm Norman Analista. I'm the founder for Analista & Company. Business that I founded to help address the need for more custom bespoke clothing. That started in February of 2018. And since then, I've just been doing my best to create pieces that I felt represented me. Our concept here in Analista & Company is we offer everybody a fashion gallery experience, meaning we don't set up racks and racks of clothing. What we do is we pick out these pieces that we want to stand out. I've found that when it comes to celebrities and influencers, these are individuals that are not afraid to march to the beat of their own drum and are not afraid to establish themselves as unique individuals, that the clothes that I produce are the pieces that they tend to like. So I found the niche.
It's no doubt that you are a proud Filipino.
When we come back, we're meeting with Kitchen. Lenny Farron from stirring things up with cocktails in quarantine. More Uno Mix after this.
Uno Mix is presented to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together. Uno Mix is presented to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Today, my name is Lenny Farron. I'm a partner here at Kitchen Lingo and creator of the cocktail program, and we are happy to introduce you to cocktails in quarantine. Whether you've bartended before or never been behind a bar, this drink's for you. It's actually super easy, and we show you just how easy it is on the back here by using the QR code. It'll show you the simple steps that you take to enjoy this beverage. It actually is 3 servings. So if you were to come into Kitchen Lingo and have a drink, we would only serve you about 1/3 of this. So at home, you can enjoy it with 3 friends or 2 other friends, 3 people, or you can just have 1 drink over ice or without ice, whatever you prefer. And you can just close it back and simply put it in the refrigerator for another day or for later on. Just kind of a little history. When we first opened Kitchen Lingo, we were only on half of this space. So we were a small little space. And at that time, we only had a beer and wine license. And we realized that our beer and wine sales were kind of up there with our food sales. So when we expanded, broke down this wall, we built this bar, right? And then of course we added more seating, but the kitchen remained the same size. And when we did that, the drink sales went even further up. And the thing about the drink sales is that the margins are way higher than food. When Chef Lingo creates a dish, there's so many components and there's so many team players that make each of those components happen, and there's so many mistakes that can happen along the way. So many, areas there where they can have error within the production of that product. For a cocktail, it's 1 person making a drink that costs sometimes the same amount as, or even more than a dish that 4 team members might have composed in the kitchen. Fast forward COVID, right? We shut down our dining and we tried to do takeout, and takeout just didn't, it just wasn't the same, like the experience was dining in at Kitchen Lingo, seeing the chef, seeing the team being served by our crew, me and Pika in here, sometimes me behind the bar, the local band, seeing your friends and family. That was Kitchen Lingo. To go was just food, It was, props to Chef Lingo. I mean, he gave it a shot, but when it comes to fine dining, it's really about the total experience. So it doesn't, it didn't really translate well, but they did allow us to do our cocktails to go. So we had a little bit of experimental time, when they were allowing us to do the food and the cocktails to go out of here with the first license change, right? And so we got to see like what had good shelf life, obviously the fresh juices don't sit as well. Part of that cocktail experience in Kitchen Lingo was getting stuff fresh. So translating that to go was a little tough unless we knew they were going to drink it that day. So we basically made a few cocktails available and saw which ones had the longer shelf life and which ones made the most sense. And we ended up with Manhattan and Old Fashioned, which are classic drinks. They've been around for probably 100 years. And they just have a really good shelf life, and they were meant to kind of hold for a while. The convenience is really in the craft, right? So unless you know how to make a drink, unless you've made a drink before, you don't really know what goes into making a drink. Like anybody can definitely Google search this and look it up and do the exact measurements and do it themselves, just like any recipe that's out there, whether it's food or drink. But we have a specific flavor that we're trying to achieve, and the flavor that we're bringing forward is the flavor of Kitchen Lingo. That's what we served here. So our guests that were here when they drink this, hopefully those memories will come back. And hopefully they'll drink enough to help us to pay to get reopened again. These will be available all around the island. There's also Bottle Shack in Dededo, where you're going to be able to actually go in there and purchase either one of these cocktails, or even better, Bottle Shack has a delivery service through Uno Go, and Uno Go will actually bring our cocktails to you, whether you're in quarantine, on your way home, you know, or you're just quarantining at home, or going to the beach, or maybe you just want to, you know, maybe you don't want to go to the party, but you want to send them a gift. You can call Uno Go or get on the app, and now you can have it delivered from Bottle Shack to the party, and now your chinchuli has arrived.
And transition into our taste test. Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with the one and only Miss Sabrina Salas Matinani, or as whom I like to formally call Mom. So thank you for joining me. I know that I stress you up the hoo-ha, so I think this is a very fitting
What did
little...
you say? Stress you up the hoo-ha? Have you started drinking without me? Okay, what's up?
It is pretty hot in here, so I think we should get to this fast. So I think it's only fitting that we do this right now. This is the Cocktails in Quarantine. These are coming out from Kitchen Lingo. And they have two very classic cocktails here. We have an old fashioned and a Manhattan. Have you ever tried those before?
No, that's why I'm excited.
Neither have I. I used to bartend, and I've never even tried these, nor have I ever had to make them.
Wait, I've tried old fashions, yes, but I mean from Kitchen Lingo, it's a whole nother level.
Okay, all right, there you go. Okay.
So cute.
Whoa, I can smell. Oh, can you smell the potency? Just from. Okay. So there are 3 pours per container. I guess we'll try the old-fashioned.
I like that because you said 3 pours. On the back, it actually says 3 pours. And for people who don't know how to do this, the instructions are on the back with the QR code.
So let's actually check out this QR code thing. Okay, old-fashioned. Unleash your cocktail. Pop the plastic seal. Pull out the jar. Open the jar over your rock glass or plastic cup. Oh, we actually already had plastic cups.
Yes,
oh well.
yes.
Oh well, and quickly pour out 1/3 of the cocktail. Add ice to the cocktail stick. Okay. Pour out 1/3 of the cocktail. Okay.
Remember, you're splitting it between you and I, so it's okay. The measurements, it's all right. Cheers.
Cheers. Isn't it a magical thing the moment you start drinking with your parents?
Ooh. Yeah, that's strong. It's good though.
That is very good.
This is wild turkey and what?
Oh, okay, so there's wild turkey, bitters, maple syrup, and cherries. 1 jar is 3 cocktail pours.
That cherry is pretty strong.
Oh, you ate the cherry? Yeah,
did.
it's been like marinating in it. Okay, so this one, the Manhattan has wild turkey, bitters, Cinzano, that's sweet vermouth, and cherry syrup. I've never had a Manhattan either. You know, I was speaking to one of my bartender friends, and he,
Girl, you only had like 1/3 of a cup. You can't even pour straight or open the bottom.
I was talking to one of my bartender friends, and he actually went to school for bartending, read a bunch of books on it, and his specialty is with whiskeys. And we were actually talking about just the art of bartending, because it's really an art, it's a science. And we brought up how, you know, real skill in bartending is shown through the classic cocktails.
Who's a mixologist over at Kitchen Lingo? Was this all Lenny?
This is Lenny.
Lenny, all
Yeah.
right.
So I freaked out because he had this huge bottle, or almost like a, what would you call it? A pitcher, basically. And he's starting off with the little stuff, and he starts pouring some of the wild turkey. And then he just like dumps the whole thing into it. I was like, holy cow. All right, that's a party.
It's good, strong.
That gave me goosebumps. Gotta say, that blood rushed to my back.
And also just, I remember Kitchen Lingo, that's one of the things, aside from the fabulous, amazing food and the things that they create there, they also create just the best darn drinks, right, and cocktails. And so it's nice to see them thriving during this time.
Yeah.
And what a cool idea.
But what's really amazing and that we really want to help promote is the fact that, you know, Kitchen Lingo, as you know, their storefront is no longer operating, but they are still their operations are still happening there, but they're not serving people. So what they're really trying to do with these cocktails and quarantines is to get the business back up.
Right.
You know, we know that they're also serving, you know, they have their food distributions happening at Payless and stuff like that. So this is another way that they're trying to get back up on their feet. They're just hanging on. So, you know, an amazing local business that has been the center for so much amazing food, amazing entertainment. You know, we really want to get the word back out there that this is one of the ways that we can help bring that back up. So I think cheers to that. Which one did you like more? I think I gotta go with the old fashioned.
I like the first one you gave me with the cherry.
The old fashioned.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you get these? You just go to Bottle Shack or do you order it online?
We
How
got
does
these
this
at
work?
Bottle Shack. They're over at the Dededo Mall, and they just opened up. It's really cool when you walk in. So definitely hit them up for all your favorite alcohol needs. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back with more Uno Mix after the break.
Uno Mixed is presented to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together. Uno Mixed is presented to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Thanks so much for tuning into this episode. As always, we're up for anything. So if there's someone or something you'd like us to feature, message me or Team Uno Magazine on Instagram. I'm Tyler Mattanani. This is Uno Mix. We leave you with Sunday vibes. Till next time, bye!